Greetings one and all, Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuff and Things, back again for part 3 of our memorial tribute to Paul Phillips of Pauly's Hobbies and Things. This is the third part of the 24-hour UK ration box he sent to me shortly before his untimely passing. And this will be primarily the dinner selection. So we have over here in this corner some V6 gum, 85-gram fruitcake with a best by date of 2018, 300-gram vegetable pasta with beans and tomato sauce, as Pauly would say. Here we have hot chocolate flavored drink type mix. And we also have Nescafe coffee, creamer and sugar, but since I'm not a regular coffee drinker, I will save those for camping or hunting expedition in cold weather where just about any warm drink is a welcome treat. We have also cheddar cheese spread. Now, we don't have any more crackers. We had some biscuits brown for breakfast and lunch. We're all out of those, so what I'm going to use for crackers to spread the cheese on will be some Triscuits out of our kitchen pantry. I have some hot water standing by to heat up the vegetable pasta with beans, and we'll pop that into the hot water here. Also have some hot water standing by to mix the hot chocolate. So I think what I'll do is pour the hot chocolate mix into the cup. Maybe look in there. I'm going to stir that up with the British MRE spork. And we'll be right back with that. I'm also going to pop this into the hot water right now. So stand by. Alright, while we're waiting for those items to heat up, I'm going to open this fruitcake. Best before date of January 2018, so it's not terribly far out of date as MRE type components go. See if it has a shelf stable oxygen absorber in it perhaps. No. So I'm going to give it a smell because these often contain nuts, and if they do, the nuts go rancid sometimes. It smells a lot like raisins, and it looks like raisins are a pervasive ingredient in there. You know, those black spots, I suspect those to be raisins. Break it in half. Find that it is chock full of raisins. It smells kind of earthy. You know, it's reminiscent of a smell that I was used to when I was younger. We had horses when I was growing up, and Dad used to feed them a product called omeline. And omeline had a smell very similar to this. I think it was due primarily to molasses. It smells okay, so we'll be giving that a try by and by, and be right back with you. Back again. So what we've done is added some Gouda, smoked Gouda flavored Triscuits. Those of you that are maybe unfamiliar with Triscuits, they're a cracker quite similar to shredded wheat cereal biscuits. Don't know if you ever had those, but when I was a kid we occasionally had shredded wheat cereal, and it's quite good. These are flavored. I don't think the smoked Gouda flavor will necessarily interfere with the cheese spread. I'm going to give it a few squeezes here in case the oils have separated from the cheese component. So I'm going to cut the little nozzle on the top that I customarily do for ease of squeezing. Squeezing ease. Easy squeezing. Okay. And let's try a little dab of it on Triscuit. So coming out of the package, it looks similar to a lot of other cheddar cheese spreads that are found in various MREs. A little more yellow than some. Some of them tend to turn brown with age. Give it a smell. It smells like cheese. Doesn't smell off at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. And here's looking at you. It's cheesy, as you might expect. And it does have the flavor of cheddar cheese as opposed to some other milder cheeses perhaps. The flavor of the smoked Gouda from the Triscuits doesn't overpower it. I think they're a good combination actually. Let's have another one. Quite good. Alright, let's move along and have a bite of this fruitcake. Just tear off a corner of it there. Down the hatch it goes. It's pretty good. It's a little bit more subdued in flavor than I thought it would be. But I guess the primary overpowering flavor in the whole mixture is the raisins. It does have a very subtle fermented flavor, or a sense of fermentation. Pretty good though. I wouldn't turn it down, I don't think. Let's go get some hot water and mix up the hot chocolate. This water was at a rolling boil just seconds ago. See if I can do this left-handed and not spill it all over everything. Not too bad. Got a little bit of extra water in the tray there and on the, maybe a little bit on the fruitcake, but could have been worse. Sometimes these plastics get a little soft and spongy in hot liquid. I know I put one in the dishwasher on the lower rack one time and it keeled over like a wilted flower, but that was not a US MRE spoon, nor is this one. This being actually a spork, right? If that's piping hot, I'm going to let it sit for a bit. This is a double-walled stainless steel cup, so I can very comfortably put my hand on the outside of that. It's barely warm, but the water that I poured in there had just come off the stove from a rolling boil, so there is very little transfer of heat from the inner wall to the outer wall, and that's really nice. Now let's see if I can pull this off. I made the nozzle just a little bit too big, I think. But if my artistry holds, then we'll have possibly. Is it fair to use my finger? I think it is. Maybe a final tribute to Pauly with a traditional cheese buddy. How about another one? Might as well. I think if this were warmer, it would be a little bit more pliable, spreadable, whatever, but it's okay. So that's the timer to pull the pasta out of the hot water. I'm gonna go do that. And here it is, fresh from the boiling water. My instincts are to let it sit for a minute and cool off because it's going to be hard to handle when I try to evacuate the contents out of that envelope. Let's try a sip of the hot chocolate. I think I'm going to put the spoon aside. It's probably stirred up enough. Cheers. Whoa, oh man, what is that taste? That has a very slight minty flavor. I think I'm going to re-examine the envelope and see if that's something I overlooked in describing it. I'll get right back with you. So I did overlook it. Hot chocolate flavored drink, type mint. It says cocoa-based beverage powder with mint flavor to prepare a hot chocolate drink, 500 mils of water. Anyway, there it is, right on the label. Duh. So that's why it tastes minty. It's not a defect. And that having been said, it's very good. Alright, this is pretty easy to handle up here where the foil is not covering up some heated food. I can feel down here where my fingertips are. It's quite hot though, so let's see what we have. I think this was one of Pauly's favorite pasta dishes, or as he would say, pasta. Okay, so first look. First smell. It smells pretty good. Alright, let's dump it out here. Ooh, look at that. If that's vegetarian, it looks like it has meat in it, so maybe it's soy protein or something. Let's look at this. Salt, 3.4 grams, which is over the recommended daily allowance of sodium, which I believe for an adult is 22 or 2300 milligrams, which is 2.3 grams, so that's more sodium than is recommended, but I don't add salt to anything. If it doesn't come with salt, I don't put salt on it, and that's just by choice. Alright, so that looks like meat right there, and I want to know, okay, it came apart and it turns out to be a bean, so it's not meat. And we have the pasta shells are, I'm not sure what you call this particular kind of pasta, but it's like a cylinder with striations down it, and it's hollow, of course, inside. I can look that up and find out what it is, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, down the hatch. Quite interesting flavor. It's tomatoey, but that is not a marinara type of sauce. There's really no cilantro in there or oregano or anything like that that I can detect. I don't really think this qualifies as a marinara type sauce. It's just some kind of red sauce. Definitely not like spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce or anything like that. The beans have a good texture to them that adds to the overall experience of that entree. The pasta is of course quite soft and mushy, as you would expect. Has been in a package for several years anyway, and just been heated up to boiling. But that being said, it's quite good. There's a kidney bean there. I think I'll try and score that on the spoon, on the spork. There we go, right on the end, kidney bean. There we go. Okay, I like it. Wonder what would happen if we experimented with this a little bit outside the box. Mix in some of this cheese sauce in there. I'll mix that in as well as possible. This is quite a large serving here, so I don't think there's any room for complaints on the part of anybody who is hungry. That's a goodly amount. Alright, cheese is mixed in. Let's try it again, see if we can tell. The answer is yes. Overall, everything goes well together here. I don't have a terrible conflict with any of this stuff in terms of it not going well with any other component. I'll try to squeeze out a little bit more cheese. I have some on a Triscuit. Maybe I'll make a little cheese Triscuit sandwich with the other one. The rest on the pasta dish. Come on, there we go. Alright, I don't know how good this will work because these are crackers and they're going to fall apart when I bite. Oops, falling apart already. Don't have to wait to bite into it. Alright, well, it was a good idea while it lasted. That is not going to fly. Okay. In the past I've put aerosol style of cheese. I think it goes by the name Cheese Whiz here in the States. And there may be other brands on Triscuits and other similar crackers. I'm not a big lover of saltines. I eat them once in a while, but I prefer these whole grain types of crackers, which just gave me an idea. Try that. That was after a combo. Yes, indeed. Well, that was an interesting experience. Pretty good, actually. Let's try it again with another little blob. Another sip of cocoa. Yep. Let's have a bite of fruitcake, shall we? We shall. Around the Christmas holidays, fruitcakes start showing up in the stores around here. And they have the same basic tasting matrix as this, and that's kind of a brownish, oh, it may have some molasses in it or brown sugar, but anyway, a brownish cake matrix with fruit. The only fruit I see in that is raisins. So this has sultanas, which are raisins. Well, this is good stuff, and I fully understand why Pauly liked it in similar dishes. To your health. You know, that mint flavor in addition to the chocolate is a surprise every time I taste it, but it's a familiar taste at the same time, so surprisingly familiar, I guess, right? It's a rather strong mint flavor, and by strong I mean not overpowering, not objectionable, but it's instantly apparent. You don't have to wait for it to stir. As soon as you get it in your mouth, it's mint and chocolate. Okay, let's see what these gum are about. I think they're something similar to Chiclets or MRE type gum. And there's two of them. Okay. Back in the day when I was a kid, I knew some kids who played a trick on one of them's elderly grandmother. And there used to be a certain brand of gum laxatives that looked just like this. So around Halloween time, they got a little package of Chiclets that would be handed out as Halloween treats for kids. Opened it up, substituted the two Chiclets for two laxative gums, sealed it back up, and left it where Grandma could find it. And she apparently chewed them and apparently got the results that were intended for that type of gum. However, she wasn't expecting those kind of results and got a little bit worried about how come she all of a sudden was loose as a goose, as they used to say. So Another tale from the crypt. Let's go for some more fruitcake, shall we? We shall. Enjoy some more of the chocolate. It's cooled off now to a more manageable temperature. At first it was quite hot, as you can imagine, just having come out of boiling. Now it's probably in the normal range for coffee or tea. Which I think is somewhere around 140 or 160 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. I have another bite of this delicious pasta dish. Now, Pauly told me that all the ingredients that were in the box that he sent were authentic UK MRE ingredients, and in fact the box he sent it in was marked property of the MOD. So I think the box was even authentic. How about that? Okay, so this has been the third and final review of the 24-hour British ration box sent to me by Paul Phillips, late of Lincolnshire, England. I understand that Pauly was to be laid to rest on the 19th of September, and of course our thoughts are with his family as they continue to grieve his loss, I'm sure. You can still check out all of Pauly's videos at Pauly's Hobbies and Things on YouTube. He did a lot of MRE reviews, but he also did some other things. Some train spotting, air show, a little bit of air show footage, and some other interesting things. So you could check that out. Watch for his little bunny, Bobby the bunny. Next time we'll be reviewing the 24-hour civilian MRE pack from New Zealand, sent to me by my sister who lives in Auckland. And we'll start off with those three, and then we have another surprise coming. We're also due for a giveaway, and I'll have to feature that on the next video. We've reached a little bit over 1,000 subscribers, quite a landmark, never expected to get there. And coming up in the future, we'll have some outdoor videos as the weather allows. As you know, we live in the Pacific Northwest, specifically Boise, Idaho. And coming down from the north is quite a storm system that was supposed to be record snow in Montana, North Idaho, and maybe parts of Wyoming. Feel a little bit concerned for the Continental Divide Trail hikers that are up in that region at this point in time, because that's going to be a pretty significant snowfall for them to deal with up on those high passes. But anyway, we've got unseasonably cool weather here for early fall. I think it's fighting to get above 50 degrees outside right now. We've had a little rain today. And anyway, I said all that to say this. We'll be doing some outdoor stuff later on in coming weeks as the weather may allow. So, take care. Have a good weekend, what's left of it. And stay safe out there. Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuff and Things. Signing off. Adios.